Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games, back with another cool arcade game repair video for you this evening. This time we're going to work on a Stargate. William Stargate. It's basically Defender 2, if you've played Defender. This is actually one of my brother Donnie's friends' game, and he's had it a long time. It's in pretty good shape. I think he said his dad may have bought it back in the 80s. And I've worked on this game before. I think it's been about probably 10 years or so. And we put this overlay on there back then, before it had some cigarette burns and stuff on it. But I don't remember really what the issue was back then. Either way, it was broke. And now I didn't even ask him what was wrong with it. Donnie seems to think it's something with the controls, but I don't know. I didn't really talk to him. But anyway, we'll see. Guy dropped off this hayride. Is it a hayride? I think it's a hayride pinball machine. Harvest. It's a Harvest pinball machine, guys. Come on. And he brought it to me. And he's from Missouri. Brought this thing all the way from Missouri. And he even brought a sock with him. So if you're wondering why there was a sock in there, I don't know. You have to ask him. Maybe he'll watch the video and see. I don't know. But anyway, back to the Stargate. So anyway, this is Donnie's friend's game, and he dropped off a couple of them. It was this one, a Galaga, and a Future Spa pinball machine. We're going to fix them all for him. But anyway, let's plug it in and see what it does. I haven't checked it out at all. No idea what it's going to do. I heard the monitor come on. Sounded like anyway. You know what probably happened? Anybody got any guesses? There's a big clue right there, I think. I wish the color would show up better on the camera. I'm going to say the batteries died on the board and it came off replay. What do you think? He never called and asked us. He just showed up with all three machines one day. He was moving, and I guess he figured while he had the moving truck, he'd just bring them by and drop them off for us to give him a good once over. But let's see. If that's the case, I should be able to coin it up with the coin switches. It was probably on free play before. Maybe I'm wrong. When in doubt, add more credits. Okay. So maybe we just got maybe a ground issue or something. Unlatch that. Let's try undoing this connector. I'm plugging it back in. It looks like it does have it had some corrosion at some point. Is that even the ground pin? Whatever that is, looks awful. Look at that. Is it green? There you go, you can kind of see it there. That whole pin there. The guy keeps saying he's got them in a room that gets a lot of moisture. All right, so that is orange with black. Goes into orange with black over here. So is the grounds orange and black? Probably. Looks like all the grounds are orange and black. So if it's not getting a ground, none of the buttons will work. So I'm gonna fix that connector, I guess. All right, so you see what the issue is, we think. So I'm gonna clean that connector. Maybe I'll probably swap the pin inside of it and we'll see what that'll do. Well, that didn't do it. Still broke. So we gotta dig a little bit further. So I ended up taking off the back door. Williams games have two back doors. Most of the Williams games have two back doors. So you have the top one, so you can service the monitor. And then it's got a bottom door that has some clamps on it that you can unlatch. Swing this open. And so this is the main board. There are the batteries I was talking about earlier. Those are the extra long life batteries. This is the ROM board. Williams games are just complicated. They've got lots of stuff going on. So you've got the main board, you got this ribbon cable that connects it to the ROM board. Then you also have a ribbon cable here. This is called the widget board. And guess what runs through the widget board? All of the controls. And that was on there like that. But anyway, look at that connector. See all the green? Got it on that one there too. So that's going to be our issue, I'm sure. So I'm going to cut all these wires one at a time and put a new pin on them, new connector on them. I'll show you. And that is the soundboard. And that is the old power supply, but we've pretty much bypassed all of that because we've put in a switch, a brand new switch and power supply. We did that last time, I guess. And it looks like we recapped the monitor the last time we had it. And this is just for home use. So I'm not going to bother with that monitor again. You know, if it had an issue, I would, but it seems to be working fine. I've already capped it last time. So we're going to let that ride. But we got to get the controls working. So we got to work on that connector down there. So we've got a whole container here full of different connectors. I think these are the ones we need right there. I think that's the part number for whenever we have to reorder them when we get low. And see how it says 0.156. That's the pin size that we need. And we've got the pins that go with them right next to them. And that's the part number, I believe, for those pins, in case you're wondering. So I'm going to take this whole bucket out. Take this bucket out. Try to anyway without dropping all of them. There we go. And then I come over here. We're not really that organized, but these are our good crimping tools. So we're going to need those. If I don't choke. We're going to need these little snippers, snip the wires. Oh, and also wire strippers. Because these don't really strip the wires, these just crimp them on. So with these three, we ought to be able to make it happen. So let's go back there and start messing with that. All right. I got me a drink. Got all set up here, I think. So I'm pretty sure these are the right connectors. So I need two 10-pin ones. Of course, I only have one 10-pin and a bunch of 9-pins and a 12-pin, so I'll have to cut to 12. But either way, we'll start with this one because it only had 2 wires on it. So this orange with a white stripe goes all the way on that side. So I've stripped my wire here a little bit. I got my little crimping tool. Get these on Amazon. We've got them on our website too, just a link to the ones on Amazon. But if you use that link, anything you buy on Amazon after that gives us like a royalty for sending you there. So we appreciate everybody that's been doing that. So you got to make sure you do these wires one at a time, because if you don't, you might get confused. That does appear to be the right connector, so we're looking good there. All right, and this ground one goes all the way on the other end. So we'll snip that one. Strip it back a little bit. Get another pin. Put it back in the crimping tool. I really like these things. I mean, they work good. I use them all the time. And then we put that back in the connector. All right, so we got lucky with that one because it only had 2 pins on it, 2 wires. But this one's got a lot more. So I'm just gonna do them one at a time. But again, I think I gotta cut one of these. Let me make sure I don't have another 10 position one. Got a bunch of 9s for some reason. All right, so I'm going to cut this 12, I guess, without messing up that 10th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we actually pulled it off. If it'll go on there, might have to trim it a little bit. Pretty tight fit. You don't want to cut off too much because then the pin won't go in there. But you got to cut off enough where it'll go next to this other one. Looking back now, I probably should have cut the other side, but we won't talk about that. Pins are bent a little bit. I think we can make it work. I'm just struggling with it right now. I think they're spaced. I think one of them's bent. I haven't found out which one yet. Maybe they're too far up. Like this, make sure before I start putting all those other wires on there. If I wasn't filming, it would have went right on there. All right, I think I can make it work. All right, I had it on there. All right, so we gotta do 1 wire at a time. So we're gonna start with that one. Don't let me forget. So, you see, it's real easy to do. It's just a little time consuming. So I don't know how much of this you want to watch. One down. I think somebody came in the store. I'll be back in a minute. All right, I'm back. I was all set up earlier. If I'd had another 5 minutes, I probably could have been done. That's all right. I made $1 though. I mean, I'll get up. There's a customer. All right, I gotta get back to what I was doing. Gotta get my bearings straight. All right, here we go. I should have got a small screwdriver while I was up. Sometimes you gotta play with these to get them to lock in. That one's being stubborn. Seems to be all right now. All right. There's a little thing it grabs when you push it in there. Sometimes it don't get it all the way until you bend it. I don't like that one. Redo it. That's better. It's supposed to clip in there. If they don't clip in there, you're just asking for trouble. only had 9 wires on it. I could have used one of those 9 pins. Whatever. All right. What do you think? Think that's going to fix it? The other connectors look pretty good. I might have to tell him he's going to have to put some new batteries in there. I don't have batteries. I don't have any good ones anyway. I got some cheapo ones, but the little cheapo ones that I got ain't going to be no better than the ones that are in there. Those are extra long life batteries, top of the line. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and turn it back on. And I'm gonna bring you along with me so you know if it actually fixed it or not. What do you think? Here we go. Got my little on-off switch there. I'm holding the tripod. Why did it not make the... Oh, there we go. Scared me for a second. Whew. Saved my credits, so my batteries are still good. Booyah! Yeah, buddy. Thrust, fire, smart bomb, hyperspace. Yeah, buddy. All right. Up, down, reverse. Ready to go. Now I'm gonna put up this tripod. I guess I better turn off the camera for a minute and get all this together so I'm not shaking it all around all the place. All right, I'll be back. All right. Monitor is actually a little bit too bright. It's a smidge too bright. There we go. It's supposed to be black, like space. A lot of people make that mistake. They'll have the background too bright. Anyway, let's play. I'm not any good. This has got to be one of the hardest games they ever made. Defender and Stargate. I'm not really even exactly sure what the point is. I think you do something. I think you pick up some of those guys or something. I don't know. Do you pick those up? Guess not. I never play that way. I usually just kill all the stuff before they kill me, hopefully. But if you ever played Stargate or Defender, let me know. Do you agree that it's a very tough game? Ronnie knows how to play it. Like I say, I just go around and shoot stuff till it takes me to the next level. But I never really get that far usually because I usually die. See? But all I need to know is everything's working. See? Up, down, reverse, thrust is working, fire is working. You can get a bunch of stuff on the screen and then do the smart bomb. That's working. Smart bomb, hyperspace. Everything's working. There was one guy I knew, he was good. He would just go like this and he'd be real quick with it, you know. He'd be like, just like mowing the grass. And he'd be on like the 4th level before I could even tell what was going on. But anyway, the monitor looks good. Everything works. I think I'm about done with this one. What do you think? How much would a repair like this cost, you think? It was pretty straightforward. Ronnie always says a lot of these games don't get fixed because nobody ever tried to fix them. So that one was pretty obvious to me, I thought. The buttons weren't working. You start at the back of the buttons, you kind of trace the wires. We found the green corrosion on the 1 pin. We fixed it. That didn't fix it. So we kept following it back to the widget board, which had a bunch of more corrosion on it. It was real green. You would think most people would find that if they even attempted to look for it. New connector, wham bam, there we go. So anyway, I think that's going to pretty much do it. I need to put a freaking marquee bulb in there. Well, I guess we'll do that. You want to put a marquee bulb in there? See how it's kind of working, but it's dim. It's kind of lit up a little bit. That usually means it's the starter. It could be the bulb still, but I guess we'll take the marquee off and look at it. Let me get you back on the tripod. Hold on. They just look a lot better when the marquee light's working. Wouldn't you agree? All right, let's see. All right, I'm gonna turn the lights back on. All right, so if I take the starter out and the light comes on, let me see, can you guys see the light? All right, so if I take that starter out and the light comes all the way on, that tells us the starter is bad. If I take the starter out and the light is still the same, that's going to tell me my bulb. I just need another bulb. Here we go. Starter's bad. Let me go get another one. All right. Most of these games take FS2 starters. Of course, I don't have any of those right now. I used my last one yesterday. But I do have an FS25. We'll see if that works. It should flicker off and back on when I put this in. Let's see if it will or not. I even got it in. Yep. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the game off, turn it back on, and we'll see if that starter will turn on that bulb. Game off. Nope. All right, let me keep looking. I gotta find an FS2 starter. You would think I would have 100 of them. I usually do. Of course, I don't right now. I found one. I found one in the bottom of my little bin that I keep my new ones. It must have fell out of the thing. Brand new FS2. I didn't just blow the bulb. It ain't wanting to cooperate. I guess it really wants a new light bulb. We'll go get one of them. All right, got a new bulb. Let's see. I was trying to be cheap about it and only change the starter. Of course, you know, anytime you try to do that, it comes back to bite you. But there we go. So it'll come back on. before I screw the marquee bracket on. Came right up. All right, so let me know down in the comments how much a repair like this should cost. You saw what I did. Change the connectors, change the marquee bulb, change the starter. I really didn't mess with it too long, really. Maybe an hour altogether, maybe. But you know, it took me a long time to learn how to do it in an hour. So I don't know, I want everybody's opinion on how much a repair like this would cost. So let me know. But anyway, thanks guys, we appreciate you watching. And we'll see you on the next one. That's Stargate.